nearly 20 sessions it took to get to the trial. Congratulations.
And
like
if we
3.
don't
It's like 2 or
start,
3 sessions.
Yeah, we're starting right now. Go.
Go. Okay, well, fuck it. Last time. Last week. A few cool things happened to the lovely party members here.
and that's it. That's the entire recap.
And that's it. Theo opened the cool book, learned a lot about ancient Mythera and Freya. Or at least pre-war Mythera and Freya. Ashe got an owl friend? Friend, question mark? Ominous. We don't know. Valkyra got to 1v1 a few challengers on the Glory. And finally, Milo did some exploring around the city and potentially followed a path that they shouldn't have. As they are now in this stranger's apartment, held at knife point by who you believe to be Varsala. You better figure out who you are and why you're here.
I am beginning to think there's a lot of things I need to figure out. Let's just take a moment and breathe.
Breathe. Yeah? After what you did.
Can you tell me what I did?
She kind of scoffs as you see from the end of her hair up, starting, the blonde hair turns this dark brown as it shimmers away, revealing this dark skin, deep brown eyes, strong face. As she looks down at you. You mean you don't recognize my face? You should.
Do I recognize her face?
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh my god. Oh. Okay, that's not bad. Let me see. Let me see what we're working with here. Wisdom saving throw 20.
20. At first, at the sight of this face, your mind goes blank for a second. And all you can feel is an underlying heat. This sort of primal anger, this instinct against her to reach for your gun. You almost feel like words creep into your mind for a second before you shake it off and push through and stare into her eyes, and for a brief moment, you get a sense of recognition. You don't know her, but maybe you know someone like her.
I'm trying to put the pieces together.
You worked with my mother and my sister.
Did I? I wish I could give you the answers you seek, or provide you with some kind of retribution or vengeance. I don't know who I am.
What do you mean?
Does she still have the knife?
Yeah,
to my
the
throat?
knife is still there, though her hand... Make an insight check, actually.
Ooh, not bad again. It's another dirty 20.
Her hand is slightly shaking, but you can denote from her facial features that her anger is wearing and it's just turning to confusion and a little bit of fear of you.
And she keeps claiming I did something to her, right?
Yes. What are the reparations for killing people?
I'm sorry.
My mother. All of your friends you don't remember. Half a decade of death by you.
You mean
And
me
all of a sudden you
specifically?
don't. You were the worst of them. So yes, by you.
My earliest memory is waking up just outside of Mathera maybe 2 months ago. All I had on me was this. I hold up my amulet. This, and I'll very slowly kind of open my vest to reveal like the sheet, that letter that I keep on me.
Mm-hmm.
And this. And with my eyes, I'll look down towards the holster.
Give me that. She nods towards the paper.
All yours.
Grabs it and tucks it into her pocket. Still, knife in front of you. Very clearly trying to make you stay where you are and not make any sudden movements.
No movement from me. I think maybe instinctually, if I'm feeling her guard kind of wavering, I'm
Mhm.
more so just slightly just moving my body so I'm a bit more planted and maybe in control if I do need to make a sudden movement.
Okay. You're trying to be very sly about getting yourself into a
Yeah.
better position.
Maybe while she was like reaching for it and kind of stuffing it away, I would make just a minor movement to try to plant my body a bit better on the ground.
Make a stealth check.
Okay.
Or sleight of hand. Say stealth.
Yeah. Ooh, they're pretty good. Oh, no way. I get 2 dirty 20s followed up by a natural 1.
So she sees you move and then pushes the knife further in and goes to reach for your gun to get it away from you. Are you trying to stop her?
No.
Right, she goes in, pulls the gun out of your holster, and slides it under the dresser behind her. Just away.
We won't be needing that. No need.
I don't
I
know whether or not to believe you.
I don't know what I could tell you. I can tell you I've had dreams.
What?
It's hard to say. Red? Seeing red? Seeing death? Running? Screaming? Some my own, some someone else. Uh, a man with glasses, older, who would look upon me with disdain, disappointment, disgust. I can see in your eyes that I have done something horrible. And if I were in your position, I would want vengeance for whatever it was that I did to you, but I don't know who that person is that did that. I don't know if that's still me. And that's what scares me.
You see this hesitation. Like she's so desperately just wants to get it over with.
But if I am changed, I'm not the person I was. Maybe we work together. Take this whole thing down. If I can remember, I could be the inside man.
You're already out of the reaches. They're never going to take you back.
Well, that complicates things.
What do you suppose we do?
I don't know. There isn't much that I've known recently. I would like for both of us to walk out of here. That could be as potential allies with whatever it is we hope to accomplish moving forward. You've seen my work with the rest of my companions. You know, at least I've tried to do some good.
She's just nodding her head, or shaking her head, just trying not to believe a word you say, but pulls back the dagger slightly. Let it be known I still do not trust you.
I think that's likely for the best, but I don't know what I could do.
You could kill the rest of them.
Of who? My companions? Now, why would I do that?
Because they were on the side that that you maybe were on.
The side that
bad
I
one.
was on.
The one who killed all of our friends. All of our family.
Oh, I'm just writing stuff down, sorry.
Those people, and she nods towards the book.
Who are they?
You would know better than me. They're your family.
Think there's like a moment of just emotion hitting me in that moment, since one of the main things that I've always thought about since I woke up was where's my family and who were they, and that longing to have a family, a real family. Family.
If you really want to make things right, you sacrifice your own life to go take down those psychopaths, murderers, dangerous people that should not be let out ever.
What side were we on?
You were on ours,
I was.
and then something happened, and you all disappeared, and suddenly you come back. Vengeful for some reason. Against what, I have no idea, but all you aimed to do was cause harm. To take us, the rest of us, down.
I am truly sorry for whatever it is that I did. I had lost sleep at night these past couple months, worrying about what kind of person I was before. I tried to live each day, masking the true terror that I felt. It seems like it's all true. I will fix this.
You better. I will come back, and I will not let you go.
I wouldn't expect you to.
She finally relinquishes and stands up.
I'll slowly stand, like very slowly stand up, not making any fast moves, and kind of give her a few feet space.
While you do so, she turns, goes to the book, and rips out that page you're looking at. Folds it, and then just shoves it into your chest. That's all you need. That's all we have.
Can I be so bold as to ask you 2 questions? Just 2. And then you can leave. Or I can leave.
What
First,
are your questions?
and I'll hold out the amulet. Do you know what this is?
Looks it over. I don't know what that is.
Do you know what these initials mean? MLO.
MLO. And she turns and looks over the notes that she has on the table. I have an MO. I don't know what they stand for, but we've heard the nickname Monarch go around. MO.
You've heard that name amongst the bad side, or yours.
The bad side. It was never used among us.
My last question. What's my name?
My sister would know more than I do. We never used their real names. You were Jumper.
And was that before or after the betrayal?
For all of these, and she points to the list of code names on the table, were used before. Except Monarch. That was the only one that came after.
All right. Is there anything else you want from me?
Did not seek me out.
I can do that. Or not do that. I will not seek you out.
We were called the Nightshade, by the way. If that makes you remember anything good.
We were the Nightshade.
That's what we were called. And now it's nothing.
Because of us. Oh well. Me and my family.
Mm-hmm. She just sits back, looking defeated.
I'll make this right, Varcella.
It's Sonia.
Sonia. Does that spark anything?
I roll a history check.
So I've gotten 3 16s and 1 natural 1. So this 16 is just a 16.
Just a 16. You have no clue.
Okay.
Surprising that you don't know me.
I'm so sorry. I wish desperately that I could remember anything. All I have is dreams and terrible feeling. Seeing red. Strange. Awful. Primal urges. I'm scared.
I know how you feel.
Would you like me to leave?
Go. You weren't much of help, unfortunately.
I'll find a way.
I hope you do.
Wait, your sister?
Mm-hmm.
Is she in the city?
I have no idea where she is. She's been gone for, again, half a decade. Disappeared when you did. But I haven't seen her since.
And what's her name, if I come across her?
Nabi. Her code name was Feather.
Mm. That was one of the names I saw in the book, right?
Yeah.
Can I have that back? And I'll point to the gun that was shoved away.
Just nods her head towards it. Go. Get it.
I'll reach down to grab it, but I'll also unload the gun just to give her peace of mind that I'm not going to try anything.
Okay. She just breathes deeply and leans back in the chair. Still looking uncomfortable, but that's less hostile.
I'll move towards the door and like pause, like facing the window, wanting to turn around and say anything that might convince her, but probably more so that would convince me that I'm hopefully not the person that I was before, but struggling to find the proper words to convey that. And I think I'll just exit the window.
Okay. You do so. New paper in hand. Still slightly bleeding on the neck.
Yeah. I'll wander for a bit, kind of in a haze. Maybe walking down like an alley and kind of letting my body fall into the walls. Looking aimlessly. Before mustering up the courage to go back to the inn. Is anyone still up when I return? Or it's late-ish,
About late
right? Or
evening, yeah.
okay, late evening.
Late evening at this point.
But if there's no one of the party that's in the inn at this point, I'm going straight to my room.
Okay.
And upon getting there, I think I take the gun and put it on whatever shelf there is. And if there's a chair in the room, I'll kind of post the chair up on the opposite side of where I place the gun. And kind of hands shaking uncontrollably, sit down on the chair and just do whatever I can to process everything that I just heard, kind of staring at the gun and just saying to myself out loud, what the fuck am I doing? And just doing what I can to not lose my mind. And that's it.
Okay. As you sit And all of these thoughts just replay loudly in your head. Nadi. That name is more familiar. And seeing Sonia's face. You just close your eyes and try to muster up any kind of image of this person. You get little glints of it. Like an image just dancing on the end of your brain. A similar looking figure with short hair. More aggressive look in their eye. You can hear replaying in your head just faint screams. Warnings. Telling you to get out. That's all you can think. You're trying just desperately to hold on to that little thought, that little memory while you can.
And I think, despite all of this, there's a feeling of guilt. Deep-seated guilt, I think, because there is still a part of Milo that knows that he has a family out there. But it's not what he was expecting. I think he
anything?
probably just shed some tears for the loss that he inflicted upon Sonia. Because if that old Milo had no remorse or empathy, sympathy, whatever it may be for what he did, this Milo does. And he'll try to keep himself sane by searching for any possible good memory he may have had, and he tries to cling on to Nadi still.
Still trying to focus on it?
Yeah.
Okay. Make another wisdom saving throw.
Oh, God. Oh, man. 3 16s, 2 natural ones. So it'll be a natural 1.
Interesting. Okay. You try to dig deeper on this person. And in searching for anything hopeful, those echoes in the back of your mind go from sorrowful and you feeling remorseful to just becoming seeded with hatred. And all you can think about is, she betrayed you. She's the traitor. She deserved to be punished. She is the prey and deserves to be.
I think with that, I'll immediately go to the gun and holster it back up.
Do you feel a sense of ease when you holster your gun again?
Maybe I wasn't in the wrong. I think that's a good spot to end the scene unless you have anything else.
So, what's everybody else doing for this evening?
Sleeping? I guess.
Okay.
I don't have anything else. I think for the most part, he's just been spending time in his room. Taking care of what he needs to take care of mentally to prepare for trial day.
Okay. Theo, Valkyra, anything before bed?
I think I'm just trying to come up with a explanation for how I got the book open. Doesn't include the stolen skull.
That doesn't include the stolen skull? Can't put together a whole lot.
So I think just keep it open. And I'll have it open to like a really interesting part. As if like that's what I'm gonna be showing them tomorrow. And I don't close it.
Wait, which spot?
It's like an interesting, like a really interesting description of like maybe of that city in Freya.
Okay. You land on this excerpt describing the large tree. It describes all sorts of flowers blooming on it, vines dripping from it like waterfalls. This beautiful description of this very lush, lively thing. But in the far distance, you still see snow surrounding the city. And the narrator, as they walk closer to this tree, almost feel this sort of hum through themselves. This warmth. And they describe how all sorts of nests for birds are nestled into it. Mostly these blackbirds, ravens and crows that have found themselves living in this tree. And this, at the base of the tree, a tap, almost like a well of this bright blue sappy substance. Shimmery in the light. And it seems to be describing this almost centerpiece of the city. Lots of children playing around it. People saying prayers in the park around it. This centerpiece of people, of the community. But its roots grow long, stretch out across, and disappear into different parts under the city. That's about it for that page.
Have I heard of a big tree in Freya?
Make a history check. I'd say with advantage.
Um, 16 plus 7 is 23.
23. You've heard of people that have gotten close to that large city that most can't access. But they describe, at least from a distance, a broken skyline with one large frost-covered dead tree in the center. So it seems to still exist, but it is not as lush as it is described to be. And the city noticeably is not green. It is cold and snowed over.
Is it inhabited? Or is it like ruins?
It is inhabited by the clan that lives there, but they are not friendly.
Well, I think with that I just go to bed.
Okay. Valkyra, anything from
Mhm.
you?
No, not really, I guess.
Okay.
Something like that. I don't know what the sword does, but
I sent you a stat block for
no,
this
I
one,
know.
but Valkyra doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
You go to bed a little bit confused, a little bit defeated. But night settles in for everyone. Valkyra. As you settle into sleep, you sink into your wounds, and that's a little bit painful. You manage to eventually drift off into darkness. As you try to sleep, you feel like something's bothering you, like noises around you. Like a crunching noise. And this light, and you open your eyes to a familiar voice. Careful, little pup. Before you, you see yourself on the side of a mountain. The rocky ground is covered in snow. A few pine trees smatter the hillside, and the sky above is a bit overcast. All is quiet, save the sound of your own footsteps and the quiet jingling of equipment. In front of you is your father. Shield and pack slung over his shoulder, looking back at you and smiling. What's your step?
Fine, I've done this before.
I don't want you to get hurt.
I'm not going to get hurt.
Oh boy. And he smiles knowingly as he continues leading you up this trail. The air is fresh and cold. This is a familiar trek. And eventually, after a few minutes of crunching and burning legs as you continue to climb, you reach an outcropping, signifying the halfway point to the peak. A normal rest stop for you and your father. In this moment, as he sits and catches his breath, and you sit beside him, you notice what you really hadn't before. You just now see, rather realize, the age in your father's face. His strands of gray hair, the fine lines and wrinkles around his eyes and mouth. The age in his hands as he takes off his gloves to grab his water skin. The wisdom that lingers in his skin. Just how knowledgeable he really is, despite his youthful personality. He looks off the cliff, and in the distance you see your home. The city of Storsad in the distance. Faint smoke plumes rising, and beyond that, scattered dots of other camps. You feel as if you can ask him anything in this moment, and he would have an answer for you. As he sits and ponders.
How you feeling?
Feeling as good as ever. How are you feeling?
A little scared. A little worried.
Why are you scared?
I don't know. This thing.
Hmm?
I look if the amulet's there.
There. He doesn't particularly notice it. But it's
This thing,
there.
I don't know what it does.
There are a lot of things we don't know about. A lot of questions, a lot of unknowns. But we eventually overcome, we figure it out, and we live, as we always have.
How do you feel about tieflings?
Well, I mean, they've attacked us for so long.
Yeah.
There has to be one of them out there that's better, right?
Well, there was.
Was there? Did you go out and meet some tieflings?
One.
Tell me about them, as he continues to sip from his water skin.
name was Odyssey.
Good name.
He was younger than me, but he wanted to climb and go into the ruins like I did.
We're climbing in the ruins.
That's where I found the amulet right here.
It's a cool little thing.
Yeah. But I lost him in one.
You lost Odyssey? I'm sorry about your friend. And he pulls one arm around you and pulls you in for a side hug. Just pats your shoulder.
I met more Odysseys.
More
And
Odysseys.
I worry I'll lose them too.
I felt the same way. I still do. After I lost my brother, and it was rough.
I
You
can't.
just fear that you're going to lose more and more until there's nothing.
I can't bring them up here.
Why not?
It's not made for them.
Well, make it for them.
There is no making this place for anyone. Except us. Just us. They'll die up here. There's no doubt in my mind that something will happen, the same thing that happened to Odyssey.
Your mother found her way up here, didn't she? Look at her now. A fine warrior.
Yeah.
Sometimes all you need is a little hope. Keep your chin up, little pup. I know it can be confusing sometimes. He just looks at you, his heavy breath in the cold. Not yet knowing your purpose. Not knowing what comes next. Or if we'll still be around to be with you. Songbird, Thera, and I. But no matter what, Knee taps on your chest. As long as you have us in there, in your heart, we will be with you.
Okay.
Just need to keep your chin up. Otherwise, you will go mad with worry.
Hi.
Smiles at you and rubs you on your back. Just stares off at the city for a moment. You excited for your tattoo? Your mark?
Wait. Where do you think it will go?
I don't know. I mean, I got off pretty easy. And he shows, like, it. Well, you would know his tattoo to be, like, on his shoulders.
Mhm.
But, I don't know, maybe somewhere weird. Like your hands or a face tattoo.
It's
That'd be
kind of hard
crazy.
if it goes on the face.
That must mean it's very important. The more painful, maybe the more power that comes with it.
Maybe.
I don't know, but Big Pup is pretty powerful too, so. And there's his on the arm.
Is this real?
What do you mean is this real? You can feel the snow, right? You can smell the air. You're talking to me.
Am I?
Just shrugs. We'll have to find out. And he stands up, brushes himself off, and puts his water skin away. Come on. We have to make it to the peak before sundown.
I think I know how.
How?
Just hold my hand.
Okay. You're going to do some crazy stuff.
In the dream, I think.
Okay.
I'm gonna sprout the wings and fly up to the peak.
Okay. You push out these wings from your smaller body than you're used to. Holding your father's hands, his eyes go, whoa, as you begin pulling him up with you. Almost weightless, floating through the air instead of the flapping that you're used to. As you just glide up to the peak, and suddenly you're overlooking everything. You can see your home. You can see all of the scattered camps in the distance. You look around, and behind you, you see the rest of the mountain range rolling, jagged, with the peak off in the center, off in the distance. This almost completely vertical point. You look across the rolling terrain. It's like a breath of fresh air. All of your worries melt away as you stand there, holding your father's hand, who's just, instead of being dragged below you, is floating beside you. Just taking in the world with you. Your dream begins to fade away as you sit amongst the stars and the aurora that rolls in until you wake up again. Yes, Theo, as you sleep, you feel like you don't get as good of a sleep. Your mind just keeps replaying the words in the book, trying to envision all of those places. And you repeat them over and over until your mind just starts playing them for you. You just imagine the scenery, the lush Nessus Valley covered in these pink petals, the open and breezy city of Mithera, covered in greenery rather than the gray energy of the whole city and its surroundings. It's clean, it's peaceful. The land is filled with flora and fauna. Deer and foxes. Fish in the water. Birds in the sky. So different. But you keep replaying it and replaying and replaying until little details become more noticeable. You begin seeing these vividly. The scenery, the same scenery, the lush, the green, and then above that, the sky. Subtly detailed in the book, but you piece them together. You look up at the sky and see an array of color. Beyond the atmosphere and seeping into it, you see these strands of energy. It's red and green and grays, lots of grays. The darkness beyond that. And as the day turns to dusk, there are no stars in the sky. Not a single one to be seen. But focusing in on this weird arrangement of imagery, you look into the sky and see different places smattered and smeared together. You see jagged red rock, seas of purple and blue energy, lush greens, greener than the planet. And between them all, these creatures just flying through. Large, chitinous, almost bug-like. It's a weird array of like mirrors of Jornara. You're unsure how to feel about it. But these images just keep replaying throughout what you believe to be sleep. Until you wake up not feeling completely rested, but feeling more insightful into what you found. The morning greets you all, eventually, as you begin to peek, open your eyes, and are welcomed, or not so welcomed for Valkyra, a very hot day. But before the rest of you wake up, actually, Ashe, you've been awake for a while. In the early reaches of the morning, Redelia will walk downstairs carrying something in her hand.
Hey.
Oh, right. You're awake at this hour too.
Yeah.
So, this is it.
The big one.
Yeah.
It's gonna work.
It's gonna work. And here, and she lays it out. You left it, and it was a little bit tattered, but I got it fixed up. And she unfolds that same blue velvet suit. Deep blue with silver trim. The little rose lapel on the chest. I got it a little altered because you lost a little weight between then and now, and it didn't fit you super well before, and I just wanted you to look pristine for this.
Yeah. It didn't fit super well at the party either. It's nice that it, yeah. Did you spend like the whole night doing that? Because that...
I got
Also,
somebody else
how
to do
did
it for me because I can't sew.
Still, gotcha.
Yep. Never been too good at that.
Yeah, no, you have not. Hey, look. We gotta have some form of banter before all the chaos breaks out, right? So,
Right. I just really stressed.
yeah, it's gonna be a time. But hey, it's one day. We'll know by the end of it. So.
Yeah.
Well then, I'm gonna get dressed and look back at the two guards that have been surveilling me. You guys awake?
They look at you. Awake.
Yeah. Probably gonna head out to the hall in a few hours. Make sure everything's straightened up and ready to go.
Yeah. Did you want everyone there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if we're gonna be traveling together, they deserve to know.
Right. Know about what? And specifically?
All of it.
Okay. Well, I'll make sure they're all there.
Good. All right then. Thank you.
Of course. She just looks visibly nervous. little out of it.
Knowing full well that there's not a damn thing he's going to be able to do about that, he is going to finish his own preparations, and then as the time draws nearer, he will get himself properly dressed and promptly offer his wrists to the guards so that he can be ushered off.
And they do so. You already have your bracelets on
True.
as they just make sure you get there. And by the time the rest of you wake up, Ashe is gone.
Were we supposed to meet him there? Okay.
Redelia will make sure of it.
I think Milo will kind of stumble out of his room. And I honestly don't think he slept much last night, if at all. And so I think I'll take a point of exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
But just goes downstairs.
The rest of you?
I think I'm gonna go home.
You go home? Before you leave, Redelia just stop you for a moment. Ashe wants you there. So,
I'll
I
be there.
believe it's at noon, so.
I'll be there.
Okay. I'll be waiting.
And I run past her.
Sprinting through the city. You get to your house. Your mom is awake. Your dad is not.
I'm just gonna open the door. I'm assuming she's sitting at a table somewhere, and I'm just gonna put the book down, open in front of her.
You opened it?
I did.
And she... Can I read it?
Well, I could, so I don't see why you couldn't.
And she gently pulls the book towards her, but as soon as it gets close to her, it flutters closed.
Oh.
Huh. Peculiar. I need to go get your father. And she quickly stands up and hurries and fetches Doc. As he comes back a little bit groggy. A bit of bedhead going on, but he sits down. So, what's happening here?
Well, I kind of opened it last night.
You open the book.
I opened the book.
What's inside?
Well, there's lots of descriptions of pre-war Nethera, and a city in Freya with a big tree.
And they look at
Well,
each other.
Show them all my notes.
And they begin just immediately. All the weariness from Doc wears off and immediately just adjusts himself and starts flipping through all of your notes. And it's just it's just like 10 minutes of silence as they read. But eventually, this was all in the book. This was in the book.
It was in the book.
Oh my stars. It's huge. If this is all true, if this is like a history, a retelling, a journal, we have to get into that city, right?
I think so. And I think that's what I'm gonna go do.
You're gonna go into that city.
Mhm. I have one, maybe two Freyans who would maybe guide me.
I don't mean to overstep, but if you would if they could potentially extend the invitation to us, we would be extremely grateful. However, I understand if it is a personal matter. And he says so, very obviously wanting to get into the city.
Well, it might be kind of dangerous.
Dangerous. Right. All of them. They don't really let people in, do they? Well, if you're going to go into the city, I hope these friends can fend for themselves.
Oh, they're really good at fighting. I've heard.
Right.
Ow.
Mm.
I will bring back the cannibal jokes.
I'm not saying
This
you're
is a
not. I'm
threat.
saying that I
She's throwing
haven't
off suspicion.
seen them.
This is a threat.
Can you fight? Totally.
How soon are you going to Freya?
Well, as soon as the trial's over.
Right. So, tomorrow?
Hopefully.
Oh. I mean, and there's a little bit of nervousness between them both, of you just like going into Freya by yourself. Well, I think I speak for both of us when we say we trust you. Just be safe.
I will. And I think maybe I should take the book as well.
Oh yeah, it's only opening for you. What good will it do the rest of us? I'm sure the other professors won't mind.
Probably not.
I'll make sure of it. Can we make a copy of these notes while you're here?
Oh yeah. I think I've pretty much written down word for word everything in the book.
Okay. And they go fetch their note-taking supplies and spend the next couple of hours going through every detail with you. Valkyra and Milo, what are you doing back at the inn?
I don't know. I don't know. We left. I'm scared. I'm all alone.
Milo's still there, looking
Yeah, I'm still there.
Oh,
extremely tired.
good morning.
Oh, good morning.
What happened to you?
Immediate flash of the entire last night. Didn't get much sleep. A little tired.
Insight check. Dramatic. Insight check. Natural
You're-
one.
I mean, technically, I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, you didn't get any sleep last night.
Shut up! Did you like nightmares or something?
I guess you
Something
could say
bad
that.
happened? Is it the drugs?
I wish.
So what it?
There's some bad dreams. I can tell you a bit later. I think we have a busy day ahead of us.
Well, we're gonna have to walk there, so
If it's all the same to you, I'd rather you do most of the talking.
Oh.
Your voice might do me some good.
okay. A little flustered. Flushed, I think it's the emote. That one in particular. That individual one. Okay. Where are we supposed to go? To the when? And when are we supposed to go?
I think just the courthouse. I suppose we could just go early
Yes.
to be safe.
Sure.
Do you need food before we go?
Do you need food?
I've been like very gingerly nursing like a scrambled egg plate that is barely eaten. I think I'm good. Do you want the rest of this?
Sure. Why not? I consume.
Shovels it in one fucking.
I consume the egg. It's been good.
Oh, pretty
You
good.
sure it was just bad dreams? Because you can tell me, if like something happened. Do you have a scar on your throat or wherever the thing was?
Ooh.
That is a good question. Are you making an attempt to cover it up?
Oh shit. I do have my scarf. I guess I would say I would have had the foresight to kind of tie that around my neck.
It is like 80 degrees outside as well.
He's gonna suffer through the pain.
You sure you're going to want to wear that? It's gonna get hot out there.
It's a comfort thing.
Alright. Oh,
Um,
speaking of which, and the wolf pelt just poof.
Are you leaving it here?
She'll probably bring it back up before we go, but just open shoulders,
the shoulders, they're so distracting.
How am I supposed to do this math homework? It's gonna be hot. And this pelt is for the winter up in Freya, so
Yeah, it's definitely not winter here. Listen, I can tell you a bit more tonight, I think. Maybe.
I'll hold you to that. Unless you're too
Alright.
tired, then you can.
We'll see. We'll see. Should we
Where's Theo? What?
Either she went to the courthouse.
Everyone is disappearing on me. Except for you. Thank you.
I would never do that. It's possible she went back to her house, maybe? Before the courthouse? I guess we could look for her before we venture
No,
on.
it'll be fine. No, it'll be fine.
Oh.
She's
Oh.
definitely not getting kidnapped by a bunch of Goliath people and bringing her up north.
Mm.
That's absolutely not happening.
But who do you think would kidnap her if she were to be kidnapped? What kind of people?
Dead people. Oh, sorry. That's when I'm fine. That's when I find them. I don't know. Probably magic people. People who are like, you're sticking your nose in places that you shouldn't. Grr. You know what I mean?
Or maybe an old ancestral family coming back to claim some artifacts that she took from their burial ground.
It's really deep from you. You're not usually like this. You sure you're okay? You're just
It's
tired?
moment. Yes.
I want to roll another insight, but I rolled a 1. I'm just gonna stick with it.
I think you would at least periodically notice like a bit of like tense neck movement, as in there's still some pain from the cut there. But is it heat discomfort or almost slitted throat discomfort?
It's a
Is
little
that-
bit of both.
Is that what I'm thinking of? Did you just tell me what Valkyra's thinking? Which honestly, I think that's pretty funny.
You rolled in that one, to be fair.
Are you sure that you want to wear that? It's gonna be really hot.
I'll see how I'm feeling in an hour.
Okay. Well, let's go. Let's yeah, let's go.
All right.
You're gonna head to the courthouse
To
early?
the courthouse, I guess.
Okay. You do find where it is. It is a large, like, white stone building.
That's
Very
kinda-
close to the way you came. You came in through City Hall. This kind of central teleportation circle for the city, for public use. It is this very grand building.
Wow.
Stepping inside, it's very cool. There's this huge, like, arched hallway as you walk in.
Are there cryomancers just around, just blowing small bits of cold air into the room like an air conditioner? You hire a
Something
halfling,
similar.
halfling wizard to just blast cold air into your house for 8 hours a day.
But it is. You would have to ask what room or where to go for this. Which is a good question. You have this space, but you would be led to a very grand looking hall. Leading up some stairs, you find yourselves on a balcony overlooking this judgment chamber. On the far side are 5 pedestals high up off the ground, and down on the floor below 2 tables, 4 chairs. And there are already a few people sitting in this space, idly chatting quietly.
Where do we go? Where's Ashe?
He might be in some kind of a holding place. I don't really understand how this works. Where's Theo, though?
Were we allowed here to just walk in with our weapons, by the way?
Oh no, I forgot to mention. There's a sign when you enter saying no wands and no weapons.
Can I keep a dagger?
Nope.
Can I try and hide a dagger?
Only Thyra knows where to hide one properly.
Only
apparently.
Thyra knows where to hide one. If you want to attempt to hide a dagger on you, I'd say roll a sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
And are you just walking in your normal clothes, or are you changing into anything else?
No, I'm keeping the normal stuff on.
Okay,
Oh, wait, are we supposed to
That
dress
is a
up?
17.
that's pretty good. You can kind of tuck it up under your pelt, like into your hip.
Yes, a dagger in my fist.
Yeah.
Hip.
Pretty much unsheath it from the outside and then just tuck it inside.
So where are we? Where do we sit?
Should we sit in the front? You know, really show our support? Wait, which side is he gonna be sitting on?
Oh no, which sports team do we root for? Is
Shit.
there the concession stand? How much are the beers?
Is our popcorn cellar?
Heavily overpriced beers.
You know, I
There's
think,
no outside food or drink.
Fuck.
I feel like the courthouse would be the place to get drunk, though.
Yeah?
Sure, I mean, you know, if you win the case, drink to celebrate. If you lose,
I don't think you do it in the courthouse though. Wouldn't you do it like after? Like, in a bar? Because you're free?
Mm.
Okay, let's go sit down. It's fine. Just don't answer that. We're good. Let's go.
we'll just
Is he-
wave Theo in when she arrives.
Where is Theo here? Theo!
Eventually.
we're the only ones in the room.
Yeah, it goes Theo, 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 Theo.
I mean, I would have gone back to the inn to show Milo and Valkyra the book.
Oh no!
They're not there.
Damn it!
Damn it, motherfucker! You know, I think we need to go back to the inn because she might be lost.
So then I go to the courthouse closer to the time of the trial.
Okay.
We wave
You
her
walk
over
in.
like we're in a school auditorium and you're trying to find your friends with the with like the school rally.
Yeah.
Like, waving over trying to find her. Yeah.
No, I'm just imagining Ash's court hearing being like a rally.
Yeah. It's a school rally, yeah. Where's the band?
There's a fanfare that plays.
The African drumming circle.
But as Theo, as you walk in, there is a lot more people in here. You do notice your bright hair friend over in the distance. But there are a lot of other very nicely dressed figures sitting in this sort of spectator area.
Are there family members of the dead?
You would notice many of them to be familiar from like school gatherings of certain family members of the victims.
Are they sitting on the other side of the aisle?
They're sitting sort of everywhere at this point. It's filled up pretty nicely.
And you have the supporters and the really impacted. Let's say.
You do see like council members and other sorts of like professors also taking a seat in here.
I'll go sit next to Milo and Valkyra.
And you're sitting near the front, all of you?
I guess.
Okay.
Is that what we decided?
Doesn't matter. Just asking.
Nah, we're sitting in the front. So we're in the splash zone. When
Okay.
something inevitably blows up,
We're in it.
we're in that shit.
All right. You take your seats and wait for it to begin.
Oh boy.
You need to take a small break before we
Oh.
get into it.
Oh!
The moment we've all been waiting for.
Oh, it's coming. Oh, it's coming.
Oh, it's coming. Ooh, buddy. So, as the rest of you settle in, Ashe, this morning, you've been sitting with Octavia, discussing the plan. Eventually, she does reiterate. Are you sure you want to go through with this? You want to show them this and tell them?
They need to know. Although, they may see it as a danger, I want them to realize what was done to me.
And other than realizing, what else are they going to get out of this?
Knowledge is everything. My hope is that they'll realize 8 years of mistakes from all parties, and we'll find a better way to remediate them.
And you're hoping showing this side of you will give them more evidence to find who did this?
It's possible. If there's anybody else who would know, it'd be him.
Well, I will let them know so they can take the proper precautions.
I'll give them the rundown as well, once it's time. Just to remind them. I'll tell what I can, and then when it's time.
Okay. I've briefed them and from our previous conversations, and I'll just make sure that they know this is happening.
Okay.
She brushes herself off, and you continue your discussions. Eventually, you get the call, the all clear to begin heading into the chamber. Familiar to you. Stepping in, the room is made to intentionally make you feel small. The 5 pedestals of the judges rise high above you, and the seats for spectators sit far behind, out of sight. The judges stands to the left, empty. walking out with you into this chamber, towards the 2 tables set in the center of the room. You and Octavia. And beside you, walking to the left table, are Taryn Elderberry and the Curran District Attorney, Starlit Yetziel, who you've met before. This is their prosecuting team. But you sit, feeling very isolated in this space, as the 5 judges take their seats above you. It's a little bit of shuffling as people get their paperwork together, get out their notes. And they call to order. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall proceed the appeal in the case of the city of Curran and the Grand University versus Ashe Kinslyph. Among the grand judges today are Judge Cordova, Cadbury, Sata, Vera, and Azarius. Our prosecutors, Taryn Elderberry, on behalf of the Grand University, and Starlet Lietzil, District Attorney, on behalf of Curran. Defending is Ashe Kinslyph, and his attorney, Octavia Cyrus. You may be seated. Can the prosecuting team please provide all details presented thus far with this case? And the DA steps up. Yes, Your Honor. Ashe Kinslyph, 8 years ago, presented the Grand University with an experimental spell, asking for its permission to perform such spell on campus grounds using their resources. With the help of his sister Redelia Kinslyph, he was granted permission to do so. From first-hand accounts, Ashe conducted the spell, but when he finished, a large blast of dark energy emanated from him. In the process, he killed 17 people and injured another 22. Soon after, he was arrested, brought under custody, and finally tried. And she steps out towards the center of the room and sets down this small tablet with a crystal in the center. If we could, this is a recounting of the trial itself. And she steps over to it and waves her hands, and suddenly this crystal almost expands in the space with this shimmering, monochromatic blue vision. Expanding in the middle of the room between the judges and Ashe is an image, moving. In this, you see the same room, except there's only one judge present, and that is Judge Cordova, sitting on the center stand. To the left, the jurors' stand is filled with 13 figures, some of which are familiar, and particularly the brown-furred tabaxi woman that you had met earlier. In the middle of the room, mirrored to the present arrangement, are 4 figures, 2 at each table. To the left, Taryn Elderberry and the DA. To the right, Octavia Cyrus and a much younger looking, healthier Ashe. His hair a bit darker than Redelia's, though running through it these dark streaks, slowly creeping, short, but very much visible. His eyes are light. You can only assume are more of a light, almost icy blue color, but they are glassy, teary. He is noticeably more emotional than the Ashe you've come to know in this past week. And you are presented with the intense, albeit oddly short, trial that happened previously. Most of the speaking is done by prosecution, and the few times that the defense does get to speak, it is Octavia, not Ashe. Eventually, you reach the end. A very odd majority vote against Ashe. Not much of a fight is put up. You see the defeated, sorrowful face of Ashe as the vision ends and the crystal returns unglowing. As we are also aware, post-trial, that Ashe's mental decline, based on reports from his psychiatrist, was severe, to the point that an emotional restraint had to be placed upon him in order for him to function. The reason for this appeal was the expression of an untruth or a rig of the vote. Mostly petitioned for by Ashe Kinslyph. So, as the judge stands up again, now that we have all of the facts laid out for us, Mr. Kinslyph, Do you have anything to say before we proceed? Anything to add to our collection of evidence?
Your Honor, with all due respect, I believe I have quite a bit to add, given the courtroom has not seen any of the context surrounding the event in the first place. The events leading up to the incident have gone completely unexplored.
And what would that be?
The acquisition of the spell, the journey to get it, the approval of the GU to allow me to do so, their complacency with that decision.
Understood. Do you have a more detailed account of this?
Are you formally requesting my testimony then?
I am.
Very well. As some of you may already be aware, I had passed the entrance exam to the Grand University, but I declined their invitation. It was not the path that I saw forward for myself, and so instead I traveled south. I went to the archipelago, the Dragonia Peninsula, and I learned more of the universe and its function, how things worked, but my ambition led me to the continent of Wowiston. And that's when someone gave me the spell to be cast on the day of cosmic alignment. Upon my return, I began to lobby with the GU to gain resources in order to cast this spell with the help of Fidelia. And they were on board and willing to allow this to take place. That is a very brief summary of events prior to the casting.
And who is this individual that gave you the spell?
I myself do not recall. But I think I know somebody who does.
And who would that be?
He turns to Octavia. I believe you all have been briefed on the protocol.
And that protocol is for this?
Yes. First, the Arcane Shackles.
Our staff has been briefed on the situation.
Then allow me to address the court directly. When addressing him, he will not give you any respect unless you give a formal introduction yourself. After that, keep your questions brief. Don't push him too hard, because if he becomes too volatile, he won't answer anything at all. And then, as soon as it's done, and he goes ahead and takes the glove off, you put the ring back on.
Understood. And with that sign given, a chair is brought out for you. And along with it, 3 cloaked individuals, faces intentionally hidden, as they bring out this chair that itself has shackles on it, and sets it down in the center of the room for you.
Ashe will get up, slowly walk to the chair, stare at it for a moment, and he'll look back to his group sitting in the stands, give a little head nod before sitting down in the chair.
2 of the figures take these metal, like infused with stone and engravings, runes, over your wrists, even with your bracelets on, and then around your ankles, and mutter some words, and the chair hums slightly and then becomes completely transfixed in its place. As they stand around you, they don't reach for the ring. Set in a sort of triangular shape. One to the left and the right, and one behind you. They all begin simultaneously casting a spell that the spellcasters would recognize as Anti-Magic Zone. As at once a sort of silence in the room. This chair that you would see had bolts into the ground just to keep it still, instead of having to use magic for it. Suddenly, the ring is deactivated with this anti-magic.
With that, all of you see Ashe's head loll, and his eyes close completely. And roughly about 9 or 10 seconds later, his head immediately shoots back up, his eyes wide open, his pupils shrinking to the smallest pinpricks as his eyes dart frantically around the courtroom, as if he were almost confused. And as he looks around, seeing the spell, looks down at the shackles.
You fuckers must be real scared, huh? Real interesting. It took you a whole year to work up the courage. Impressive. Impressive, impressive, impressive!
Looking down at you, Meta Cordova stands in her seat. I am Grand Judge Meta Cordova.
Cordova. It is such a wonderful time to see you back again after so long.
It seems we've missed your company.
Oh, and Terran! It's so good to see you, but look at all the lines on your face. Oh, and all the brown on your nose. Speaking of which, the district attorney, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
Quite lovely. Although, I can't help but notice the 13 are missing. Care to elaborate as to why that is the case?
Well, it seems that 13 had been bribed.
Damn straight they were bribed!
So we removed them from the equation.
And yet you remain. And the court is still poisoned.
I'm simply doing my job.
Right. Right.
Before we continue, can we formally have your name? As to correctly address you.
By all means. My name is Taro.
Taro. Pleasure to see you again.
Always.
We just have a few questions for you.
Just a few. Figured you would want a bit more of my time, but just a few is fine, I guess.
We're looking into whatever did this to you. Whatever pain has been inflicted. We'd like to know more about.
Is that right?
Indeed.
8 years and only now, you're starting to give a damn. Crazy.
Well, it's not up to me when things happen, only to be there when they do.
Ask your questions, then.
We'd like to know, where did you acquire that spell? Someone in Woeston, we were told.
Oh, yes. Yes. Fickle son of a bitch. It was impossible to tell who he was. He had shrouded himself. Very conniving. And Ashe, of course, is a simpleton. Didn't know a damn thing about reading spells, how to recognize individual signatures. And then by the time that he did, it was already too late. This spell, this was given to us as a bomb. We were the package to administer a terrorist attack on the city of Kirin, on the Grand University, by one of your most spiteful alumnus. I'm sure you already know who I'm talking about.
Who might that be? For clarification purposes.
Can't have any fun in this place, can I? His name is Othindra the Fell. Not a name you've heard in a long time, I'm sure. Not after his banishment. But he's still got eyes on all you, I'll tell you that. As do I.
What else happened for this to? Words. What else happened between those events and casting the spell?
Not a whole lot. He got that damn spell and he tried to study it as much as he could while he read that dragon turtle back. And you know what? He didn't learn a damn thing after months. He never even realized where it came from, who was responsible, what the spell was for. He trusted him implicitly.
Do you know what the spell was?
Like I said, Ashe didn't find out until the spell was cast. It's some dark magic, though. Something new. Othindra's been busy. He's becoming more and more dangerous by the day. And now he's found a way to administer this sort of damage to the rest of this bloody fucking continent. And you all have not even taken notice.
Then how to trace leads. Is there any other bits that you would like to mention that we may have missed?
What? I mean, the fact that you were so quick to assume that this was Ashe's purpose all along. He wanted to tear the institution down. He wanted people to die. We didn't want people to die then. He was just an ignorant little fuck who didn't understand anything about foreign arcane knowledge and was too trustworthy of the people in power. Let me make something clear. True justice is when I find Othindra. Because I know nobody in this room will find him. But I will. And the moment that I do, I'll turn him into the monster that he turned us into.
So you seek vengeance against this man?
Doesn't everyone? Every single godforsaken person in this room should know that he is the one responsible. Oh, not to mention, of course, the Grand University being oh so willing to allow this to take place as well. They didn't even try. Ashe studied it for months and learned nothing. The Grand University took 3 weeks to come to a decision. And I thought Ashe was ignorant. The GU, they have the crown.
You see the rest of you nervously up in the stands. All of faculty members of the Grand University are looking extremely visibly uncomfortable. One person even starts to stand up to leave.
So, if I don't find Othindra, I'll just go down the list.
Understood. Well, should nobody else have anything else to ask? Thank you for your time, Taro.
Is this gonna be a once-a-year type of deal, or am I gonna go under forever again?
We have no further plans. But it is not completely up to us once you leave this hole.
Well, let Ashe know once he comes on back. We're finding Othindra ourselves.
Understood. She waves her hand to the others. Thank you.
My pleasure.
And the magic begins to come online. The ring. Back in action. Ashe, your mind is clear once again.
Well, did you get what you were looking for?
We did. Thank you, Mr. Kinslyph. And you were released from the shackles.
Ashe will shakily sort of walk back, kind of sit down, holding his head in one hand.
So, we shall consult about this. Unless there's anything else to add?
If I may ask, who was it?
I don't know if they want to say. Okay. That man in Wolfston. Othindra, he said.
It all makes sense then. I should have seen it earlier. Thank you.
Just nods at you. The judges and I will make a brief intermission to discuss. Court may go on recess. You meet back in 20 minutes. And you all just feel this tension in the air finally settle. Tension so tight that you barely noticed it was there until this moment when it all just washes as you have a moment to step out of the room if you need.
During the recess, where am I?
I would say you're allowed to step into the hall
Okay.
in the public space. Of course, under close eye.
Yeah. I do so.
If the rest of you step out, you see Ashe in the hall.
I'll look in his direction, and I don't even think an insight check is needed to kind of glean how he's feeling. But I will try to discern if he is actively trying to avoid eye contact or if he simply hasn't even noticed us.
He
Go ahead.
has not noticed. There's no check involved still. He is sort of lost in his own thoughts at the moment.
Mhm. What are we thinking?
I
We
don't.
don't know Ashe at all.
They're not talking to me.
Yeah, I don't think we're close enough to talk to you. Do we know anyone? Can Valkyra leave?
Yeah, you're free to walk out.
Are you all right?
No.
Calling out. Okay. Should we let her go? Looking to Theo.
I'll go with her. And I follow after.
And then I'll kind of say to myself, I guess I'll stay with him. The devil's got to watch out for each other.
So yeah, Valkyra quickly rushing behind you, towards you is Theo.
I don't notice.
Well, that was a lot.
Sorry.
That was a lot.
Yeah. Are you hiding something from me?
No. I'm an open book.
Valkyra has something that she just can't tell me. Milo has something he's going to tell me later. Ashe is secretly whatever that is. I don't think I actually know anyone.
Oh. Put out my hand as if to shake it. Hi, I'm Theo. I'm a student at the Grand University. I stole a skull, and I opened a book, and I want to go study in Freya.
Oh, give me a sec. All right. I'm good. Give me a sec. Let me get back in character. That was just really awesome. Trying to get back in the character. It's really hard. Trying to. It's really hard. Oh. Hi. I'm Valkyra. I know. I'm not gonna shake your hand. I'm gonna do the Viking handshake. So you expect like a hand, and you just get a forearm. To be honest, I don't know. A shield maiden, but that's from Freya. And that's pretty much it. The rest is lost. I don't know.
Well,
I'd
we
like
can
to find out.
I think we will. I think you will.
You think?
You know what I think we need right now? Some good karma.
Dying.
Wait, but Karma's dead.
No, Karma's not fucking dead. Shut up. Shut your mouth.
Would you like to see how I bring him back?
Right now?
You have some
You can do
time.
Sure.
And I'll find a little alcove along the street. And I'll take out some chalk and some incense, and I'll draw like a couple sigils, and in the center I'll draw like a little chameleon, and I'll light the incense and cast Find Familiar.
See, after. Well, doesn't it take. How long does it take to actually cast?
Oh, it takes an hour.
Yeah.
Fuck you, DM. Figure it out. Fuck your rules.
Sure, fuck it. There's really no reason why it would take that long. Especially if you scurry to the Grand University and use one of their ritual rooms. You can get it done pretty quickly, and eventually a little poof, a puff of color and a swirl, and you see Karma. Almost like shift through colors, like testing its colors for a sec, and then comes to rest at green.
I think as I cast the spell, I went through each step. Kind of like trying to teach Valkyra how to do it. Or at least explaining how to do it.
Hey, Valkyra, you've read that book, so you're able to see like semblances of what she's showing you. You kind of understand what's happening.
So where does he come from? And where is he like residing?
Well,
Before he shows up.
he's a fey creature. I think he might slip through some of the cracks in the arcane walls that separate the planes. Pick him
Okay.
up. I'll kind of hold him out to Kira.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just all over the place. You wanted to go to Freya, right?
Yeah.
You know it's dangerous, right?
Yeah.
Like really dangerous. Like I've lost a lot of people I know to that place.
Well, you'll be there. And Thyra too.
Yeah, Fiverr. Right. Right. If I can find out what her point is. Why she doesn't tell me anything. It's
One thing at a time.
I don't know. I just don't know why you would tell me this stuff and she could never.
Well, in a few days we can go ask her.
Maybe.
Are you ready to go back?
Probably not, but I guess I owe it to him. At least I hope I do.
All right. You begin to head back. Milo, what are you doing?
I think pretty close to immediately after following his comment of the devils needing to look out for each other, I'll approach Ashe where he's at. And just wordlessly approach it first. Kind of just let the moment hang for a bit. Not necessarily waiting for him to say something first, but just giving that moment of pause. That was brave.
Wait, sorry, what?
To Ashe saying that was
Yeah,
brave.
it's like fading out.
He hasn't been in control for a long time. I'm sorry you all had to see that.
The fact that you're still concerned of the well-being of others after going through such a thing shows a lot about your character. You don't have to be sorry. At least not to me. I can't imagine what that must be like.
It's as if a part of me is cordoned off. And buried. All of the malice and vengeance of the past 8 years. It all went to him. It created him.
You know, fate truly is a funny thing. You say you are buried underneath all of that. It's just so funny that you happen to come across an archaeologist, a ruin delver, and someone for a keen eye for adventure and intrigue. We'll unbury you. At least help.
Assuming that the city of Kirin deems me safe to be released. That's the risk. But it's one I had to take to get the story out.
And at the very least, the story is out. And I would hope at least my expected outcome comes to fruition. I'm sure it's yours as well. There is one thing I do enjoy seeing, and it's those who have obviously done wrong being made quite uncomfortable when their wrongdoings are made clear, and their pride falls. I saw that in some of the faculty. You exposed a great deal.
He did. I guess. But he and I don't share the same convictions. He's out for blood.
And you're out for peace?
Yeah, something like that.
And that ring, that's the only thing keeping it at bay.
Yeah. It's not a perfect solution. My spectrum of emotions is heavily reduced just as a byproduct. So for the past year, I've really not felt anything.
And your stranger in the house, they've been with you for much longer than a year, yes?
Yeah. He took control, I think 2 years ago. And when he did, they saw it necessary to create an artifact that would keep him away.
I think... Oh no, go ahead if you're gonna say something. I don't think we have much time left, but... I'll be in there with you.
End of the line.
Let's cross it together.
With that, everyone begins to reconvene. Notably, Redelia did not leave her seat. She's been sat in the stands this entire time. You all begin to filter back in. The sound of the bell. People take their seats again. As you sit and wait for the judges to arrive. Eventually, after a few long minutes, the judges filter back in to their seats. And they stand. Order in the court. After reviewing previous sentence and all evidence that has been presented thus far, and the conditions written up by prosecutor, along with the agreements of the defense, it seems Ashe Kinslyph still demonstrates an understanding and humanity, along with a desire to amend his actions. He's brought to our attention that both the Grand University and this figure, Othindra, are also in part responsible for this. His honesty and sacrifice to bring this to light has been noted by the judges. And it seems the emotional damage that was caused by his imprisonment has done enough of a toll and sufficed enough of a punishment. Do you accept these conditions, Ashe Kinslyph? That you are to never return to the Grand University. And you are to never take off that ring. Should you be found without the ring, you will be terminated.
I agree.
And based off of yours and prosecution's desires, you've exhibited, again, a desire to amend your actions, and we will hold you to that. They mentioned a plan that you had, and should it not be carried out within the next 5 years, you will be brought back and potentially retried. Or have a new punishment instated. Should you accept these conditions, we've come to an agreement. That you, Ashe, are now exalted of your crimes. Your sentence is over. And you may now walk free with those conditions in mind. And she bangs the gavel. And our word is law. Congratulations, Mr. Kinslyph.
Thank you.
Shall see you in less than 5 years.
You shall.
Court is adjourned. As they stand up and begin to walk away, leaving you. Beside you all in the stands, Redelia takes the largest sigh of relief and just buries her head in her hands. The other spectators, some scoff and begin mumbling to themselves and storm out. Others chatter almost excitedly. Though there is still this heavy discomfort in the room. Octavia stands and begins to motion you out, Ashe.
Thank you, Octavia, for everything.
Of course. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just pats you on the back and gently leads you out into the hall.
Where do we go? We just go outside?
I think we can join him now.
Okay. Well, let's go.
All right.
Where are you in relation to us?
In the hall?
The
Yeah,
hall?
in the hall.
In the hall.
The hall.
Trade-
The
Trademarked.
hall, trademark.
Trademarked the hall. Where is
The
the hall trademarked?
Exit the room and you're in
Okay.
the hall.
Exit. We have exited the room. Where is it?
I assume there are crowds.
I
Yeah.
imagine.
There are lots of crowds, but it's not too difficult to spot the pitch
Orange
black hair and orange hair of Valkyra.
Hi.
Hey. I'm free.
How's it feel?
Well, I assume it would probably feel pretty great.
Valkyra hugs you.
Gosh.
So what is that? You know what the that is I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about it here, but
We will. But I think we have places to be. Where's Redelia?
Do you see Redelia kind of lingering behind, still looking pretty anxious, but now just a little too excited to express anything real? You did it.
Yeah.
Just goes and quickly hugs you and pulls away.
Got a lot of work on my hands.
Yes, you do.
yeah,
But
we're gonna have to figure that out.
Don't
I
worry.
trust he can do it.
Well, we have 5 years to do it.
I can do it in 2.
That's
I
still
bet we could do it in 1.
tomato.
Let Fonzie and Shara know. I can't go back to Wintelmont yet. We have to go find Thyra, but
Right.
let Shara
Yeah.
know that I'll come back.
I'll let her know. She'll be very happy to hear.
Yeah. Okay.
How about a drink?
That
Or
sounds
something.
fantastic right now. Yeah.
Okay, well let's go get that drink.
See, this is why they should have beer at courthouse.
Yeah, I'm really thirsty and also a little bit terrified, but it's okay.
Listen, if they had beer at the courthouse, Terran would not be a prosecutor. He would be unconscious.
Absolutely not. I wouldn't.
Does he
You
have a
see
drink?
Taryn walk by.
I think he struggled saying that. I think he already is.
I think he immediately got out and just raided his secret stash.
You know, Terran, it's funny you mentioned that because you were uncharacteristically silent.
It's the DA. I can't say much.
That's true. Yeah. She is your
I'm
boss.
gonna go forget this happened. And he begins walking out.
Yeah. Forget he will.
Right. In time, I'm tired.
Let's go to the tavern he's not at.
Which one is that? Is he going to the one that we are usually at?
Probably not. He's
Okay,
a bit
good, then
more of
let's go.
a finer diner.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's awful. Let's get a drinking.
Alright. You walk through the city. Sun halfway set. Evening beginning to set in. You. No, it's fine. We still have a few more minutes.
Okay, I was gonna punch you in the throat.
Yeah, easy enough to backtrack to the inn. Redelia does follow. Kind of quickly casting message as you walk.
So, are you actually gonna say a message out loud? Or...
No, unless you wanted to like eavesdrop.
No, I was just gonna say. I wonder if I was like cutting you off from doing something.
No, go for it. She's in the background.
You still want to have that scarlet fun after all that?
Yeah, Milo, you gotta be sweating bullets. You are sweating bullets.
It's a good one. It's a good joke.
I came up with it a couple days ago. I thought you might like that. Just didn't really have a...
Oh, I just got it. Fuck, that is awful. That is terrible. I really like that. That one's good. But damn, now my train of thought is gone.
Don't worry about it. Let's just have some drink. I'll be fine. It's a little warm, but it's a comfort thing.
Fair enough.
You promised.
Promise
Later.
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 Let's celebrate.
Sure.
Freedom.
I got a lot of money from killing people. Actually, are they? I don't know if they died. So I could probably spend. I can around for the house. I don't
Sounds
know how much
good.
that would cost me, Dungeon Master.
Round for the house. How many people are in this tavern? Not very many.
Good. Easy money. Profits.
Easy money. It'd be
Stocks. That's what we call a papega.
So that would be 6 gold. One
Mhm.
round for the whole house. There's only 2 other people in the tavern at this time.
God, that's too easy, brother. Too easy. Okay. Yes.
But the tavern keep does appreciate it.
Of course. So what do we drink to? What do we toast? Do we do something like that?
I mean, if you want to.
To
Here's a
hunting
glass of
people
freedom.
to hunting people down, because apparently we're going to be doing that now. Or 2 people.
We're just getting Thyra.
What about the other one? Who's your person? Thought there was a person.
You mean Athindra?
Yeah, that person.
He must want to do it then. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Not gonna mind it now.
I hope it's a stable bridge.
Me too.
Alright, fine. The freedom sounds much better. The freedom.
To freedom.
The freedom.
Huzzah! Drinks water. aggressively drinks water. So now what? We just ball?
We ball.
It's
Hey,
canonically a thing now.
Redelia,
Yeah.
would you be able to get us a more exact location on Thyra and then a teleportation circle to intercept?
Yeah. I can go spend the evening doing that if you need it.
Yeah. Wait till tomorrow. We're not going to be leaving tonight.
But I can have it ready for tomorrow.
Redelia.
I can do it tonight.
Redelia. You've been
I'm not
working.
listening to you.
You have been working for
He's
8
already
years
fucking
nonstop.
away.
I need you to take a break.
She's
You can do it. Kira, don't encourage this.
Your words are noted, Ash.
Just rolls his eyes.
I can rest tomorrow.
Fine.
Wait, so we're just going after her tomorrow?
I mean, unless you all had other things to do. Karen,
I don't
I'm
know.
not gonna rush
Everything's
you, but-
happening so quick all of a sudden. This
Well,
feels
we
like
can-
we've been
we can-
waiting to do this. But this
Yeah.
trial has been delayed, then it got moved here, and all these things, and now it's just over. It feels weird.
we can move now. Wherever we want.
Well, I'd like to go after my sister if that's okay.
Yeah, that was the plan. Does anybody else object?
I just hope
No?
you all know that I didn't want to take any of you to Freya. I actually was hoping to just abandon you all because, you know,
Oh,
Freya is dangerous. Quite, actually. It's a lot. And if we go anywhere near it, even if we're still just going south, even Freya's Gate is a lot. So, if we're going anywhere near it, just
Well-
don't die, okay?
we'll just have to rely on our guardian angel then.
Flushed. The emoji. Again.
I'm pretty well traveled. And
To
well,
Freya?
I haven't been to Freya, but I have been to Wowiston. And it's pretty rough over there too. So
Hmm.
I have a decent idea of what I can expect. Okay then.
Yeah.
Bit more celebrating and then a night's rest.
You are tired. You need to go to bed. And you need to sleep until 10 a.m.
Wait, who?
Milo, look at him.
He is looking a little rough. Yeah.
No, poor baby had poor bad dreams.
All right. Immediate flash to everything that happened the night before.
Oh, good.
I got nothing else.
Well.
I'm just balling for the rest of the night.
I'm waiting until later, and I'm following up on this. I'm not giving up on this fucking court of inquiry. Whatever is is deemed later.
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 I feel like it could turn into a longer scene, so I'm cool with picking
Nope.
it up
No,
next
no,
session.
no, no, you're going. Going right now.
Someone else is not okay with this. So
We have time.
Come on. So you gonna take off a scarf now? At this point, it's getting weird. I think it's pretty obvious.
Oh, have we all dispersed at this point? And Valkyria's just like coming up to me.
Let's make the assumption
Sure.
for the sake of brevity, yes.
Everyone's doing their own thing, drinking, celebrating in their own way. And you two are left a moment.
Better not be what I think it is.
We can talk in my my room.
Fucking Sean, fuck off, bro. Okay.
We get up there, and I will slowly take off these
Whoa.
my pants. I'll take off.
All right. Well, let's bring her around town. Come on.
I slowly remove the scarf and
Like
kind
you're-
of
like you-
painfully, like tilt up
you're-
my neck.
Valkyra is relieved it's not a hickey.
I had an encounter with mutual acquaintance of ours last night.
A mutual acquaintance? What is this? Is this a
Varcella.
what? Wait, here?
Yes.
Where?
I took a walk last night and caught her out of the corner of my eye. Gave chase, wanted to see what was going on, why she was even here. I stumbled upon something. Something I've been afraid of for quite some time. You see, I can't remember anything of who I was or what I did past 2 months ago. Nothing. Not a blip. Just dreams occasionally. I don't even know if they're real. But there's screaming, fear, anger, rage, the desire to kill, the desire to flee. Confusing jigsaw emotions trying to fit together. Faces that don't make sense.
Okay. And
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna and well, and how did she get in on this then?
Well, turns out I used to run with Varcella. Or her name's actually Sonia. Varcella seemed to be a cover. I worked with her, her mother, her sister, and maybe a handful of others. Seems we were once a part of a group known as the Nightshade. I don't know what we did, but there were 2 others that I was close with. We vanished one day, and when we returned, we killed, massacred, murdered in a fit of rage. But we were right. They did something to us. I don't think it was murder. The way Sonia was framing it, we were in the wrong. I don't know what to think, though. But it's clear that I've done something to her. To Sonia. Her sister hasn't been seen. She disappeared along with myself and the two others, who Sonia called my family. I don't know if that means by blood or by bond, but Sonia's sister hasn't been seen since the disappearance. I don't know who I am, Valkyra. And I don't know what to believe.
I come from a clan. I understand the idea of killing those who aren't you. Us versus them. I get it. I understand. Is your name Milo?
No.
Well, I like Milo. But I'm sure your real name is good too.
She told me her sister would know more. They only knew me as Jumper.
Jumper.
But I like Milo too.
Well, whatever it is she says you did, you're too good of a person to do that. And knowingly do it. If you did do it, I doubt you did it knowingly, seeing as you can't even remember it.
I sure hope that's the case.
You've been nothing but kind to me, nothing but helpful. So I'll help. If you need, if you want it. I don't know what I can do, but
I think I both need and want it.
well, good. Because let's be honest, I don't know anything about myself either. I suddenly have wings, and now I can do everything that I can do. Trust me, I don't know that much either. Fine, we can figure everything out together. How about that?
I like that a lot, actually.
Okay. Then we'll do it. But you need to go to bed because you are very sleepy.
I need to hopefully have the best sleep I've had.
Yeah, certainly.
Thank you, Val.
Of course, Milo. And also, don't you don't need to cover up your neck like that. It's pretty good looking scar. Makes you look tough.
Think you could
Daring.
add to like a rugged persona.
Mm. Yeah, you need to go to bed.
All right. And I'll go for a hug.
Does it?
And I think you can feel like his hands like gripping like your armor very tightly. Maybe with like a slight tremble. And
don't know
maybe
what-
you can feel like a tear fall as well.
I don't know what to do with myself. She thinks in her head.
But then we'll pull away. Good night, Valkyra.
Good night, man. And we'll slowly walk out the door, and when the door is shut, we'll just go and walk back to her room. Pass the fuck out. Fuck off, no! Fuck. Shit. Valkyra goes back to her room. Oh, yes. That is true. It's also canonically true. Valkyra will look at the amulet before she goes to bed. So go. Just hang in there. I'm coming for you. And God, may the gods help any fuckers who get in my way.
And you settle in for the night. Ash, did you want to do something?
After everything is kind of settled down, I will approach Theo. Hey. I don't even know where to start. But I imagine you may be feeling a bit conflicted with today.
A little bit.
I just want to make sure that we acknowledge that, and I want you to know that I am still working towards solving this. And until that time comes, it'll be the only thing on my mind.
I am also gonna keep working towards fixing what we did. And I think I'm getting a little closer. I've grown up around death, you know, with our friends, but also in Freya, ancient bones. And, you know, maybe can get those bones to talk. You might also be able to bring back the more recently dead.
Yeah.
I would offer my help, but a part of me thinks you maybe don't want that.
I'm not sure yet.
Yeah. Well, either way, we have the short term. We've got Thyra. So, we'll find her first. And then we'll figure out what's next.
Take it day by day.
Yeah.
Can I take a look
Yeah.
at that ring?
Ooh, shit. Oh my god.
Yeah. What exactly do you want to know?
Like how it works.
And again, I cast Identify on the ring.
Oh dear lord. FBI are gonna break in the fucking house.
You sit for 10 long minutes. Ashe, you just sit
I'll just cast it
waiting.
normally.
Oh, okay. You're just gonna cast it normally. You don't need a ritual cast it. So you cast Identify. And you see instantly a very, very, very strong abjuration magic coming from the ring. So bright, it looks like it's not even there. We can get the sense that this was specifically made to keep inside emotions in and outside emotions out. Like a two-way mirror.
Well, I'm not quite sure what I expected, but it makes sense.
Oh, yeah. They threw it together in a bit of a rush. It's kind of... Honestly, the magic is a bit unhinged. It's not controlled, but it does its job extremely well. Too well. I'll figure it out too, though. I want to, at least. See if I can get at least a part of myself back.
Add it to the list.
Damn straight. I am sorry. Just want to let you know that.
I can tell you are.
Have a good evening, Theo.
You too.
All right. With that, you all settle into bed after a long, stressful day. Ashe going to bed for the first time, knowing you are no longer restricted to the city. And knowing when you wake up tomorrow, You can go wherever you want. And that's where we'll end the session for tonight.
I want to say I will
Yes.
spend a couple hours studying, doing like alchemy stuff.
Okay, you'll add a couple hours to alchemy stuff.
Yeah, agree stuff.
Let's go.
There you
Oh
have
my
it.
God, what a game!
Oh god,
That
one-
that
that was
was
one of
not
these
only
sessions.
one of these sessions.
It
That
was
was
That
a
was a good
also
time.
that was
the
also one of
session.
the
I think-
D&D sessions I have played.
It was the session, my friend. Oh my goodness gracious, brother.
It had
This session
brilliant
had everything.